Shalom, Makim Yahabashim Yashab Bashim Hakadash Barak Atham. The ones to the elders and the apostles, the have-word, do-word, overseeing the tabernacle of David, starting from Prophet Abba Bivens on down to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Greetings and salutations to you, Akim, that are pushing his word in truth and sincerity. As your brother Yaikwab out of Great Millstone Atlanta Church, with a quick lesson in transit through the Spirit. Basically, the topic of this lesson is, keep it simple as far as, your actions, your words, even your thoughts to a certain extent. Try to, keep your thoughts moderate. And, don't, act rationally and not based upon impulse, because acting impulsively is a fleshly characteristic. All right, being in the spirit of things, it was what? Patience, discipline, a proper wholesome essence of execution, and what we do. So I'm going to start off with, this is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 13. It says, "Therefore the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time." Right. So, in the times, and this can be applied to just in scenarios where, your mouth or, when your input maybe not be needed, is not expedient. Okay, because all things that are lawful are not expedient. Just because something, you can be completely right, in a situation as far as like what you say, but the scripture tells you a wise saying, out of season is foolishness. You can say something that might have a certain level of validity, but if it's said out of season, it diminishes the power and the effectiveness of your saying. So a lot of times silence can be your best friend, So it says, "Therefore the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time." Verse 14, "Seek good and not evil, that ye may live. And so Yahweh, the power of hosts, shall be with you as ye have spoken, as ye have spoken." Verse 15 says, "Hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. It may be that Yahweh God of hosts, will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph." All right. And Joseph, that's really going into the whole nation. You can apply that to the whole nation of Israel. Most specifically, when it says Joseph in the scripture, though, it's talking about the northern kingdom. But, as far as this context is utilizing it for what I'm using it for, they also can apply to the whole nation of Israel. So grab the book of Sirach. This isn't going to be long. Obviously, as you can, you're going to be able to see, it's not going to be that long of a lesson. But, so this is Sirach chapter 32, verse 7. It says, "Speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked." Right. So, this especially applies when you are in the midst of your superiors, or man of greater man than you, and even it's just in general, more so what I'm applying it for is not putting in unnecessary input on a situation, whether it be right or wrong. If it's not expedient, typically your best bet is to let it be. Let's see here. So it says, speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked. Verse 8, let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth, and yet holdeth his tongue. Right, and that's going into, yes, you might have a certain level of good judgment on a scenario, or, you might have a valid opinion, or, have some type of, factual basis behind your belief, or something that you could, you have in your mental arsenal, but it's not necessarily, that doesn't necessarily justify it being brought forth or spoken. Okay? Everything in due season. That's the proper balance. Having, doing, things in the proper balance, proper equilibrium, in the proper season. So, Lord willing, this lesson was exhortation and edification to you sincere laborers, giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakadash. Shalom.